On this episode of the Sagely Stage Stooges, we talk about our dream jobs and nightmare jobs, both real and hypothetical. Enjoy.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Oh my.
Oh yeah.
Cartoons.
We are
Yeah.
back. It's the Sage of Stage Stooges. Ladies and gentlemen, settle in. My name is Steven. I am joined by my just fucking incredibly talented group of co-hosts, Grady, Chris, and Josh.
Talent has more quotation marks around it than you can count.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Talent
just 'cause
is
we
in
can't
the
count
eye
the
of the
guy.
beholder.
Yeah. That's just me. I
It's
just
in the
can't count.
it's in
past,
the
like,
ear
two.
of the beholder. We're a podcast, Grady. They can't see us.
Speaking of ears, they found a brown recluse spider in someone's ear the other day.
That's
It
horrifying.
crawled
Yeah.
into her ear while she was sleeping, so now y'all can worry about that.
That's
Doesn't
pretty much
that-
my nightmare.
Doesn't that just happen frequently? Like,
You know, those are horribly venomous too.
Yeah, like kill you dead.
Well, not kill you dead, but it'll cause flesh. What is it? Necroticism? Yeah,
If it-
it'll just eat.
Necro. Yeah.
If it
Yeah,
climbs
so-
in, if it climbs into your brain and
Well, it can't do that. It's too
well,
big.
I'm just saying, if it did, it probably.
Well, now
could.
I'm gonna think about it.
But yeah,
crawling into
imagine
my
it
brain.
biting the inside of your ear and then your ear falling off.
That's
That'd be
fine.
fun.
Nah,
Or like your brain dying.
not a problem.
rather not.
Anyway, great
This
way
is
to
like
start
your
the cast.
this is like your
Yeah,
attachment to bladders. I mean, I don't know what your point is with
Steven
that.
was not here for that.
Most of us are attached to bladders, but we can rectify. Anyway,
I mean, there is a bladder attached to me in some capacity.
Stephen, I noticed when you introduced the podcast, you said "ladies and gentlemen," and you didn't say "boys and girls." That's probably because we're an explicit podcast, and I don't know if we've ever addressed that when we've released casts. Like, I think we're just out there for boys and girls of all ages to hear, and they probably shouldn't
No.
hear some of what we
I
talk about.
routinely put these MP3 files on like flash drives, put them in a giant overcoat, and then walk to schools as they're getting out and go, "Hey kids, want to buy some podcasts?"
Do you put clothes on under the coat at least
Yes,
too?
of course. I'm not a pervert. Grady.
Okay,
Jesus.
good.
Just a creepy person,
All right.
not a
Yeah.
pervert.
Just a creepy guy.
Just
selling
making sure.
Flash drives.
Yeah.
No, you should
They
put them
call
on
me
like
the flasher.
CDs.
They call me
or
the flasher,
cassettes.
but not for that reason.
You should put them on CDs or cassettes. Be like old fashioned. And they're like, what am I supposed
but they
to do
don't.
with
But
that?
kids
thing?
don't own anything that
I
can
know
play
that's
CD anymore.
That's the whole point. Also, it
Moms-
would keep the kids from hearing our content. 'cause they
Even
don't
the
know
cars don't have CD players in them anymore. Anyway, what are we talking about?
No, it's a great start. I
Okay.
did say boys and girls. You're right. I didn't. Yeah, I don't know. Don't let your kids listen.
Make
If they're listening now, throw them out of the room.
Throw them
Uh,
out
yeah,
with the
kick it-
That's
bathwater.
what they say now, right? You yeet
If-
them out of the room.
if you're
Yeah, that's what yeet means, right? You throw something.
Yeah, I
pretty
think
much.
so.
Like chuck it.
I think so.
oh,
Yeah.
That's what the
I think I'm
YouTube
thinking
tells
of a
me.
different word.
That's what the YouTube tells me.
Fleek. I'm thinking of fleek.
On
Yeah,
fleek,
that's
That's what I'm
Steven.
thinking of.
Oh, that's old, dude.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
all
what-
fleek's dead.
Get outta
I
here,
used to think
Gramps.
fleeking. I used to
Excuse
think
me.
fleeking was when you like did the like water spray out of your
That's-
mouth, like
that's
spitting.
gleeking.
Gleeking. That's right. That's gleeking.
Yeah.
I still don't know how to
Close.
do that, and I don't care.
I only
I
ever
just do it
by
on accident.
I can do it
constantly.
by
Yeah.
accident when I yawn.
I can do it accidental too.
So this podcast will likely come out. This podcast will likely come out the weekend of the Labor Day weekend. So we're going to talk about labor.
That's the only appropriate response to our introduction. Is
And the
just like-
exploitation of said labor.
It's just a slow, like, coming back to reality.
Wait, I thought you guys said I couldn't talk about that.
Well,
No,
Yeah.
you can't.
Well, no. Let's. And now we hand it over to Grady for his union. Rant.
All right, yeah. Well, get ready for 30 minutes of state-sanctioned propaganda.
We'll cut it here.
Boys and girls,
at
if
the
you thought
end,
C-SPAN was boring,
we'll release it as a separate cast that never sees the light of day.
yes, correct.
Well, the Ringer recently unionized, so good for them, I guess.
What's the ringer?
It won't save
It's a
them.
basketball pod. Or,
Well, they
website
claim that
thingy.
they're a basketball page, but they're really a fucking I think there was the people. I think the Ringer actually put out an article like getting mad that there were cops that you were helping cops in Spider-Man. So to call them a fucking basketball.
Yeah. They're like Barstool for basketball, but worse.
Ah.
The Ringer and Deadspin. It's just like what they just want to be Barstool.
Well,
But
Ringer
they
and
would prefer to
Deadspin?
talk about politics than actual sports.
Ringer-
So, look,
Yeah.
look, as I told Stephen the other day in reference to Deadspin, if like you have more than one and even maybe just one article that contains the word "piss baby," then you should probably just stop. You should probably
being
just close
used
your site.
unironically.
Yeah, so and so quote. Is
that like a sugar baby?
No, they just like calling people piss babies. Like that's something that's not an insult that's ever gonna catch on. You might as well give up.
Is
Again,
that like
kids,
is
turn
that
off
like
the
a
podcast.
variety of baby, or what does that mean?
No.
Like a baby
It
that's
just means
pissed
like
itself?
you're a baby. You're a big
You're
baby.
a baby
you
who
whine,
pisses himself, or
I guess.
I don't know.
You're a
All right,
baby that pisses.
So the
on
Ringer
someone.
website's kind of confusing because like they do have NBA, NFL, like sports things across the top, but then like if you look at the article categories, each one's kind of
Correct.
label, and it says like TV,
Yeah.
Star Wars, music. What? They have like two
TV,
They claim,
NFL.
Star
to be, they
Wars.
claim to be they claim to be a basketball thing.
But they're not.
So
Anyway,
well-
if you work at the Ringer, you have a bad job and you should leave. So there's one job we talked about.
yeah. So we're gonna talk about jobs.
but it's good that they're unionized, I guess.
Yeah, but they are unionized.
If it
so good for
saves
I
them,
guess,
a lot
whatever.
of those websites are trying to unionize, but I don't
It was
know if
really
it'll work.
funny. It was really funny when all this happened to listen to Pardon My Take because Big Cat, Dan Katz has equity in
Is he a Kit Kat?
in Barstool, and so as he was like trying to talk about like unionizing, he was like getting himself into pretzels where he like actually didn't really understand what unionizing meant.
Oh no.
And like the fact that he has, well, he's being silly. He was just being dumb. But
Oh.
it's like the fact that he has equity in the company. He was also like, I don't think I should say that. Anyway, so I opened up Twitter real quick just to see.
Because you're always
and-
talking about Twitter.
Yeah, man, give us your
Yeah,
Twitter
that's kinda your
breakdown.
thing now,
And
it
so
sucks.
yeah, I guess that's my thing. We're gonna do our number one trending.
Oh, is
what-
that like a weekly or bi-weekly thing now?
Yes.
No,
I guess.
Well, now it's weekly because we talked about it last time too.
But
I know, but
the
we
number
come out
I wasn't
twice a month,
going to
so-
bring it up.
Bring it up.
But
Don't
the number one trend on Twitter right now
gleeky.
is hashtag weird things to put up your ass.
Everything.
I mean,
What?
is that new though? Like, surely we've talked about that.
There are
before.
some standard things that I don't put up my ass, but people consider standard to put up your ass. You know?
Yeah.
Well, and then the one of the top things is a butt plug.
What? I guess if it's
Now
a weird
Donald,
butt
now,
plug,
Now it's a Donald Trump butt plug. So
that's kind of
Yeah,
weird.
That's pretty
I
weird.
would like
guess.
this to stop. I would like all of this to stop.
Yeah, we really don't have to
but-
talk about that. That's really
Yeah,
not
it's
on
not
topic.
necessary to our topic.
Such a prude,
Sure.
dude.
Unless,
Yes.
unless your job is being that.
Oh, that would be one of your
One
one of your worst
yeah,
jobs then.
the
Chris.
cavity searching.
Oh, I just meant like being the plug would be
A butt
pretty
plug
awful.
reviewer.
A butt plug reviewer.
Some people probably enjoy that.
Yeah, no, it's a great job for some people.
Oh, okay. Grady was going with a great job, not worst job.
Okay, cut him
My
off right
bad.
before he finishes the sentence. It's a great job. Yeah.
I've been doing it for 10 years now.
I love it.
So
This is the best.
essentially, what are we doing today? We're talking about realistic jobs that would be our dream jobs and like awful jobs, and then theoretical jobs that don't really exist but that we would love to have or really not like to have. And that's
Sure.
essentially the case, right?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
All
Essentially.
right. All right.
Who wants to kick it off?
I'll kick
Someone
Grady.
else.
All right, Grady, go with your theoretical worst job.
Theoretical worst job. Like a job that doesn't exist, but
I don't
Well,
know.
a job you don't think exists.
a job that I would hate.
Yes, sure, whatever.
Just talk about stuff.
I would
this
hate.
podcast is really very structured. So,
Yeah, I would hate
really
jobs that
follow.
have to do with gore, with like Al Gore, of course, but also like human gore.
Yeah, he's
That's a
human.
real job. That's a real thing, though.
Yeah,
How
no,
dare
I
you
mean
say
any
Al
of
Gore
them.
isn't human.
I suppose if
Like-
here's a hypothetical
dudes who
job.
clean
If
crime
we
scenes.
went into like Soylent Green universe where we end up
Oh.
processing people into the slurry, I would really hate to be like the one that's at the final
Throwing the body
stage
parts
where
into the
well
Soylent.
they're like yeah, well before they get
rather be at the final
exterminated
stage than
and
the
putting
early
it
stage.
in and put into the slurry, having to kind of look at them and say, okay, right this way, and then they,
Isn't
Oh no!
is
I
it
feel like
the
they'd be cadavers.
is it the Giver that like or one of those books
No,
like they
don't
go
eat
in
people in the Giver.
and it may not be the Giver, but don't they go in and like get injections and die or something?
oh
think
yeah,
that's what I
the,
picture.
That might be the Giver then. Yeah, I think
That
at a
is
certain
the
age they
Giver.
just.
Yeah, that's
I remember
Yeah, like-
Jim Henson's Dinosaurs, where when you got to a certain age, they took you to a cliff and threw you off.
Yeah, so that's the job you're talking about, Grady, right? Like the last guy.
yeah,
you
whoever's
come
the
in and it's
person
like,
to
the
kill
reason
them.
Welcome to the flesh slurry.
like the reason you're here today is you get to become food.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God! I'm so sick of living.
I mean it's a hard choice between
about
that and
that?
then the person cleaning up all that shit. That would also be bad, but
Well, isn't there a game on Steam? It's like Viscera something, where it's like you like clean up all the gore that's left after like action
What a-
heroes in video games.
That's a game? Oh my God!
I'm pretty sure it's a game. It's like one of those simulator games, like
Viscera
Gary
cleanup
Mods.
detail.
Like goats
Yeah,
and
yeah. Viscera cleanup detail.
97%
You,
of
like-
people like it, apparently.
That's-
It's
Sounds
really
amazing. How
it's
did I
like
not hear
you
about
basically are just like the guy who goes up and like cleans up after the action hero comes through and just destroys
Well,
everyone.
that's like full on a game based off of a video game sketch you'd expect to see. Like, who do you think's gonna fucking clean all this up when you're done here?
exactly.
Yeah, it's my thought process in all superhero movies is, oh my god.
Oh my God! So many humans
Yeah.
are just
Yeah.
imploded.
Well, like the
We saved the day while like a building behind them collapses slowly.
like
Everyone
the Man of
just
Steel movie. Like, didn't they
Oh God, Man of
calculate?
Steel, don't
Yeah.
don't mention it. I will go off.
They calculated like the amount of damage done to the city, and it was just astronomical,
Like
right?
Yeah.
like billions and billions of dollars.
Everyone in those
Superman did
cities
not give
just
a
hundreds of
shit.
hundreds of lives.
But it didn't matter because Superman got to kiss a lady at the end of it.
yeah,
That's all that
there's-
matters in movies, Chris.
there are no insurance policies for any of the buildings there because they're too expensive. Everyone just invests only in stock in construction companies because they're always in.
Yeah, living in a world with superheroes.
Dude, yeah,
Wow.
for sure. So
Like The Boys. Isn't
That's
that
apparently
show's called?
what
Anyway.
The Boys on Amazon is
Yeah,
about.
that's what I just said. Yeah.
yeah,
No.
I'm really intrigued by that. I'd like to watch it sometime.
I think it's a comic too.
That first scene where like his girlfriend just gets exploded by that speedster that's incredible.
Anyway, back to
Um,
Grady's job.
Yeah. So you don't want to be
theoretical job.
that guy.
I don't want to be slaughterhouse, but for humans, like a slaughterhouse worker, but for humans.
But I'm
I wouldn't want to be a
confused. Are you
slaughterhouse
just, like-
worker either, but
Are you just like seeing them before they go in? Like what exactly?
yeah,
is-
man. I mean, you're going in, you're like, so it just, I don't know. For me, it would like poison everything. Like you go in and you just have to like sap your energy by doing this horrible thing all the time and like looking at people in the eye when that happens, and then
So you're
So-
physically watching them die.
yeah,
Okay,
or
in this-
something,
in this
or
I've
watching them
heard.
about to die, or knowing that I'm like right
so
there.
your worst case scenario is not necessarily being the guy who has to chop them up or throw them into the thing or whatever. It's just the guy who meets them at the door.
I guess, or I mean, both would suck.
That's what I was trying to
just
get at.
think that like
I mean,
direct,
do
like
you have,
hi,
like,
you're
Do you have like the cattle gun that they put the bolt through their head
little
or whatever?
prodder.
Is that you?
That. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say that. Or like,
who's
okay,
killing him.
there was this dude in the Soviet Union who like was a super mass executioner dude. He had this system where they told him like you
great
have to
title.
clear out this many dudes at
Our
a
Ministry of
certain
Super
time.
Mass Execution, dude.
Yeah.
Extermination, dude.
And he like efficiently processed them or whatever, just shot them in the back of the head, had some guys sweep them out and got the next person in. That would be
Yeah.
the worst.
You'd be completely desensitized to human death at that
Yeah.
point.
I mean, you have to be a sociopath.
Vasily
to be able to do
Blokin
that
is
job.
the dude.
I was just doing my job.
Yeah. He killed it. He's recorded as having executed tens of thousands of prisoners by his own hand, including
Wow.
killing of about 7,000 Polish prisoners of war in the spring of 1940.
That's the kind of guy that when they go to hell, like Satan's like, no, go elsewhere.
Is the saint
don't
of
wanna
killing
deal
or
with
whatever, like in Preacher?
Yeah, his count.
Oh, I need to
of-
finish that. The new season's on right. The last season's on right now. I need to-
Yeah,
His
it's-
count of 7,000 shot in 28 days remains the most organized and protracted mass murder by a single individual on record.
by a single person.
So Grady,
yeah,
we were
that's
talking about
crazy.
hypothetical or non-existing jobs. You're telling me this job does exist.
Well,
No,
it
he's
did
talking
exist.
about like
anyway.
in the future when we have Soylent Green shit, like or in
No,
an
just-
alternate dimension where we do.
Well, just because
Yeah.
Soylent Green's involved doesn't mean the job didn't exist.
Well, they weren't eating the bodies.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, like, that's the only part of it that is different.
I don't know.
from
They had a
what
lot
this
of
guy
people to
was doing.
feed.
We must
a
fill
lot
these
of
grain
people.
silos.
Yeah, I
up
guess
with
you're right,
something.
Josh. That is that. I mean, mass executioner. That would suck. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I guess that's your real thing then.
Yeah, but specifically, like, the caveat
It's not like
of-
an everyday thing though, so I'll let it. I
Well,
think it
yeah, I was gonna say mass executioner probably is not a job title that exists today.
Yeah, if it's not
Well, not
currently
here.
existing. It totally has existed, but
Yeah,
for
but
me, like doing it would suck.
specifically
But also,
Soylent
like,
Green mass execution.
yeah, well,
So and that's my thing. Like, so whatever. It's a job that used to exist, and I guess theoretically could exist again, but doesn't. So that leads
In
well
our
into
country.
mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In our country.
Publicly.
Hey.
oh,
Vomit
Yeah, what do you call
collector.
anti-vaxxers?
Oh.
Vomit collector. So I was reading
Why would
about
you need
like
to collect
like
that?
well, here we go.
This is
I
a
was
real
reading
job
about like
then.
terrible jobs in history.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Oh,
and
okay.
so this is like an old, like, like 18th, 17th, 18th, 19th century sort of thing, where like these nobles and kings and royalty and all this stuff would just like gorge themselves and get like mega excruciatingly drunk.
Oh
And
yeah.
then they just
Well, they have like sticks that they could stick down their mouths so they could puke.
But
and
there was a
continue
person.
eating.
There was a human whose job it was to go around and collect the puke so that they could continue their feast unmolested.
Yeah, there's
Have
actually
you not seen Meaning or not Meaning? Yeah, Meaning of Life. Monty Python's Meaning of Life.
yeah.
Oh,
That,
yeah.
They bring the vomit
yeah,
bucket
yeah.
to him.
and
Oh.
and there's a character in Preacher that is that way as well.
Oh, what is his title?
Allfather.
Yeah. The Allfather. My dad thought he was the Pope at first, and he's like, "Have you seen their image of the Pope?" Yes, my father watches Preacher.
What's that one?
but-
What's that one show about? It was about the French royalty. Oh shit!
I don't know. It sounds really lame.
yeah. Why did you watch that?
Haley watched it for a while,
Was
but
it
there
a
was
comedy
like
or
one
was it
scene.
real? Like a,
No, it was like a
It was a
like
documentary.
real-
90210.
No, it was like a drama. But there was like one scene where like there's like a servant boy who's like catching the king's like cum as he masturbates. It's like, well, that sucks also.
Why?
Would hate to do that.
Why? Like, I don't understand. I don't
He's got
understand
like
the
a towel
purpose
in
that.
front of him.
because
yeah.
you can make him.
You don't want to get that
Yeah,
all over the
man.
place.
A butt wiper, that's another.
That's
So
Well,
here's an
not-
interesting
not
thing about the
ideal.
vomit collector that I didn't realize, Stephen. That actually the ancient Romans had that too.
Yep.
So, Steven, I'm getting a theme here that your worst job is like involving bodily fluids,
Yeah, cleaning up.
cleaning up
Yeah.
or handling bodily fluids.
See, the thing is, that's gonna
Either-
be mine too.
Like, don't be a
Either-
nurse or whatever,
Yeah,
orderly or whatever.
no. I can't handle that.
That's a real thing though. Like, and that's I don't want.
Yeah,
like,
Chris. I guess we can just weirdly segment into your real one.
Well, that's the thing. Like, the thing is, so, seeing pictures of gore doesn't like freak me out. But
Sure.
what really
He looks
gets
kind of
me-
weird.
It looks weird. It's like, oh, that guy used to be a thing, but now he's not. Whatever. I think my brain just kind of shuts it off because of how horrible it is. What really, really fucking gets me, anything related to these two things. One, is the only guy here who doesn't need glasses, but will soon.
Man, keep
and then-
bragging about stuff.
And then two, as someone who had dual ear infections in high school, and since then my hearing has never been the best. My sense of smell is fantastic.
It's just like your
and
superpower.
I know. It's like I can be in a room and somebody will have stepped in like the smallest piece of dog shit and not noticed, and everyone can be sitting around and I'll go, someone stepped in shit, and like no one else will smell it. And I go, check everyone's shoes now because it's my house and it freaks me out. And
What a
it'll be there.
superpower that is.
It's awful.
Yeah, that
So the
sounds
thing is,
awful.
like, I can't. There are times where I try to take out trash and I nearly vomit. Like, my sense of smell is so like sensitive. I just start gagging immediately. I can't handle anything like that. So like, yeah, anything involving sort of like human waste. Like, if I had to be in a sewer, I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, I
Like,
was
cleaning
Well-
toilets, anything like that, and then
well, here's
not.
my
Well, go on.
here's my question. So like one of the ones was like these like dudes who like go diving in like
The
these
sewer
salvage
swimmers?
Nope.
pools.
Couldn't do it.
Yeah, and stuff like that.
Couldn't do
but
it.
like most of those guys who are like doing this stuff are like totally outfitted. You know, they've got like tanks,
Gas masks,
that recirculate.
I'm also a
you know,
germaphobe. I would die. I would fucking die.
Because I think if I had a mask on, if I was like covered, if it wasn't touching my skin, and I had a mask on, if I had some sort of rebreather, I think I'd be okay.
Yeah, what if you're like in a scuba suit, pretty much?
So
Yeah,
I
exactly.
couldn't do it, man. Like
So-
Josh just posted it right here.
Yeah.
Sewer swimmer.
I
In
posted
Mexico
a
City,
thing, and yeah.
the complex sewer system is kept running by fearless maintenance workers who have to dive right to put things right. The bold bunch have to swim through human waste, animal corpses, and a seas of rubbish, all in sweltering heat. Like I
mean, the
don't-
picture that comes along with it, he is in like a scuba suit, but still, like that would not be pleasant.
It wouldn't be.
That's
It
what-
wouldn't
yeah,
be
like
enough.
a
Like I
scuba
don't think I
suit.
could handle it. Like it would be irrational, but I couldn't do that. But when I was getting at gore, the other thing is because like gore doesn't bother me, but like you show me pictures of surgery and I can't handle it. I can't handle
Oh,
it.
like
any
knee
sort of-
surgery or shoulder surgery? That's
Just
the nastiest
anything.
looking stuff, man.
Like we're just precise cuts, and we're gonna fold the skin back, and then nope, can't do it, can't see it, can't watch it. I fucking hate it. Anything like I remember back in like the X-Play days when Tech TV and G4 TV were a thing, and like I'd literally be.
Yeah, see, I'm cool with that.
I literally just be watching a show about video games, and they go, "And tonight, plastic surgery," and I go, "Nope, change channel, can't watch
So,
it."
so I have a question on that. In that same vein, do you think it would bother you to like skin and gut an animal,
Yeah,
like in order, to render it for processing or whatever? So, like, do you think you
I
could
wouldn't
handle
have a
butchering?
problem. I would have a problem killing an animal in the first place. I can't
Wow.
do it.
Okay,
I'm
that's,
pissed off,
Chris, you're so sensitive.
I'm a terrible Texan. I can't kill animals. I just can't.
You can't
Unless,
kill
like,
animals.
I
You
need
can't
to-
dive into poop.
You don't
You're a
have to
terrible
kill
Texan,
animals
dude.
to be a Texan.
I just mean I can't hunt. Like if it'd be
Yeah.
one of those things, just like you have to kill the deer. Like I can't. Like if it was I
could-
have to eat and I don't have another choice, then yeah, of course.
But
But,
you
like-
would not, in any way, it would not be. Yeah, well, it's not a pleasant experience for anybody doing it. Really, it's
No,
just a
but if
means
you
to
wanna
an
be-
end.
If we want to do something different, if I had to go with like theoretical job that doesn't really exist, well maybe it kind of does, but this is hyper specific. I think I'd be probably at my most miserable if I like joined a cult. And
I don't know, man.
Cults
I
is-
mean, if you're forced to
realized-
join, I guess.
And then realized that it was all bullshit, but had no way out.
Oh, and that your whole
So,
just like worldview is shattered.
So, like the Scientology thing.
So like yeah, you're a Scientologist who wants to leave, but they don't let you.
But you're
I feel
like-
that would be
Your job
you're-
is you're like
Like
in
that.
the organization.
yeah, whatever it
Somehow.
is
yeah,
I'm
like,
assigned
you're like
to
a,
do.
Like you're
You're forced to adhere to their bullshit. Is it?
Yeah.
Like,
but you have a job in that organization
it's
now.
yeah. That's a
It's
very
like, oh.
interesting worst job to have. Like
Well,
to be
yeah.
forced to I guess
pretend like you believe something you don't,
Yeah,
and
it's-
also
it's-
produce something for it.
it's very
right.
it's very realistic, really.
but Chris, what would this
Yeah,
make
that's
it
like I
better
have
or
to-
worse?
Put up
With
with
this-
this corporate bullshit kind of thing,
yeah, that's
I can leave the corporate bullshit. I can't
No,
leave
but
the cult.
well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like that, but forced to stay. Like you're unable to escape.
Yeah, Grady, you had a question.
Yeah, would this make it better or worse? So, you find out that it's bullshit, but you can't leave. But then, a little while after that, you find out that everybody else in the leadership administration thing
thinks it's bullshit.
also thinks it's bullshit.
So Scientology.
Yeah, so you find out that they're administrating this thing, but they also think that it is complete horseshit.
That also sounds very
Would
corporate.
that make
Yeah,
it
but
better or worse?
I still can't leave.
think-
Yeah,
Still
you
have
still
no way
can't leave,
out.
so
Yeah.
I think that makes it better.
Yeah,
you
I mean,
can
at least
commiserate with them and be like, "Oh,
Yeah, you have
damn,
commiserate.
hard day of work today.
Camaraderie.
We had to tell all
Yeah,
those
yeah,
people
yeah.
this stuff."
You've got some.
Or does it
some
make you
logic
like angrier at them? Like, well,
It
why
made
don't
me
you let me
angrier.
leave?
Why are we doing this all for you to have more power and none of us can leave? And then we're also working towards indoctrinating more people to show up to this thing.
there. That's fair.
Yeah, I'd be really mad.
I guess maybe, dude.
So yeah,
my
cult
brain.
members probably my out there.
that's
answer.
your worst hypothetical.
Cult,
Yeah, you're basically imprisoned.
Cult PR.
Cult PR guy.
Social media.
Social media manager for a
consultant.
cult. Hey, did y'all know?
But I
that
don't
Heaven's
believe in
Gate-
any of the shit I'm typing out. Yeah, that's
Y'all know that there is still a
Soul
very
killing.
active Heaven's Gate website, right? Like there are a few guys who didn't kill
really?
themselves, and they're still running that website.
Oh, nice.
Oh Jesus.
well, good for
Christ.
them. At least they're. I mean, they probably believe at least. So it's probably
Smartest
not the worst for them.
Heaven's
They
Gate
probably
members.
feel really left out, right?
They didn't get to go on the comet.
That's what I'm saying. They like, aw.
I guess we'll just handle the
I wish
internet.
I wish we could have got those shoes. Anyway,
Those sweet Nikes, or were they
Yeah.
Jordan? Were they Nikes or Jordan? No, they were Nikes, weren't they? Yeah.
they're all the same. That's all.
They were
know.
all
They
Nikes, I
They all
think.
had the exact same shoe.
Should I throw a hypothetical
Yeah,
out there?
Sure. Throw whatever you want.
Because I just went through 2 basically.
Yeah, just hogging all the airtime here. Jeez.
I only have my
Um,
best to go now.
Speaking of airtime, sort of, when I was thinking of like what do I hate the most, or like what would like physically bother me the most, hypothetically, as a job, one of them, I guess I kind of had 2 that are kind of minor, or not very complex. One was like a coffin tester, like actually
Oh.
like being in
Oh,
a
no.
coffin and like being
No.
buried, like.
No.
That's-
no.
Did they?
like-
Oh God, no.
Why would they bury you?
I don't
Like,
know,
that's the
man.
coffin.
That's just where I went. Like hypothetically, like to make sure that the coffin doesn't crush the person. I don't know.
That's
Don't get.
horrifying.
It's just a hypothetical. Like that's.
Oh my
Well, shit. If you're
God.
afraid of that hypothetically, then I feel like your real world worst
Oh,
would be
yeah.
would be like a coal miner or something.
No, that was where I was getting. Like, I'm not really that claustrophobic. Like, I can crawl up under a car, crawl up under the house, and do stuff. But
Why are you crawling around up under people's cars in their houses, John?
no, because you have to work
Just to
under
see if you
houses
can.
and cars sometimes, man. Like, my parents' house is a pier and beam, so you have
Yeah,
to get up
come
under
on,
there.
Chris. Welcome to the blue collar lifestyle.
Anyway,
Hey.
Another
But,
thing
like-
that Chris doesn't do.
the knowing, I think the claustrophobia comes in when the like knowing you can't get out, like that would be the, or thinking you can't get out of a situation.
That's what I'm saying. I
that's the
saw that
definition of
somebody on
claustrophobia.
Reddit posted like a letter that had been found from like 1902 or something, and it was like a giant coal mining disaster in like Pennsylvania or something, and it killed almost everyone. And the few people who lived found like a side of the mine that they could all live on, or like that was safe. But they ran out of air after a few like days.
Yeah.
So when they finally found them, they were all dead. They found their handwritten notes to their children and their wives saying how much they loved them. And I think after that disaster, there were 4 men left alive in that town.
Man.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Like you get trapped in a mine, that sounds like horrifying.
Well, see, and like being like I mean, I guess if you're like trapped in the mine and it's like you can't move, but if like you're trapped in like a cavern and you're just kind of like slowly dying.
You mean like the guy who got trapped upside down?
But like being trapped in like something that like a
like
coffin.
Yeah, you can't move. There's no
Like,
space. Because I've been like, I work in a jail building, so like sometimes I have to go in the actual jail part of the building, and like I was in there the other day. I was thinking, man, there's like no windows. Like we're pretty well closed in, but I was still like, all right, I didn't fucking
fine.
freak out
Yeah.
because there's hallways and stuff. But like,
Yeah.
What's that? What's that? That movie, The Descent.
probably.
Where it's like they're like crawling through these like tunnels and stuff, and it's like they're like in like these like they're like squeezing themselves through tunnels and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like nope,
No
nope, nope,
thanks.
nope, nope,
Yeah.
nope,
Yeah,
nope.
I'm
Y'all
not
know
super
about
keen on that.
You know about the guy that got trapped upside down in that cavern, right?
Was that Luke Skywalker?
No.
Well,
He
when
was
was
trapped-
when was he trapped upside down?
Well,
And
he
the-
was crawling.
the-
It was through
the
a cave
Wampa.
system, and at
The
one point
Wampa.
it went
Oh.
straight down. So he climbed straight down instead of putting his feet down there first, and he got trapped. So they had to hook up all these
that's a
pulleys to get
nightmare.
him out. But because of the angle, they were saying if we pull him, his legs will break and he could die of shock. And they basically ran out of options, and his blood was pooling in his head, and so he eventually just passed out. And they're like, "Well, that's it."
Well,
And they
just pull him out and see what happens.
No, they didn't pull him out. They left him in there to die, and then
Oh, shit.
just walled it
break
up.
my fucking legs if I'm gonna live. Break my legs.
They walled him up, and so that's his tomb.
Okay,
Jesus.
yeah, that's Cask of Amontillado.
He died
That's not
upside
real.
down, knowing he was gonna die, like stuck in a cave.
Cask of
That's
Amontillado.
that's anxiety inducing.
Yep.
But yeah, it was between that and like handling incredibly venomous spiders. So like brown recluses and.
I'd rather handle a spider than a snake.
Oh, so we started this cast off real good for you.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't know.
Did you know recluses could be in your ear?
I'm always
Just check those every 30 seconds.
Right now.
I'm
It
not
feels like there's water
arachnophobic.
in it, apparently.
I'm not
So if you feel
arachnophobic
like there's a little
necessarily,
extra
but-
water in there, it might be a spider.
But I still like the fact that something small can kill you like so hard. Like that's not cool to me. So yeah,
That's funny.
it's not an arachnophobic fear or anything, but it's just
It's
I'm
just
not
like,
cool.
just
well,
don't like
who
'em.
knows? There might be a spider that could kill me.
Right.
I
I mean,
like
it's
spiders a
kind
lot.
of like a. But I think it's at the same time it's an irrational fear. Like they're mostly they're not out to get you. They're kind of like just chilling.
Yeah.
You know.
Whereas there are
absolutely.
some snakes that are very aggressive. So it's like, I'd rather handle
Not
venomous
here.
spiders than. No, maybe not here.
Not even cottonmouths are even that. Like they're
No.
pretty timid. You know that they'd rather not fuck with you.
Yeah, unless you're like some people I know who have chased them down and reached their hand into their hole.
Oh, I've
grab
caught
them.
I've caught
That didn't
cottonmouths
go
before,
well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in that case, then you're an idiot.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, you're asking for it at that point. Yeah.
You're literally asking for it.
Yeah,
Like you're
please
chasing
bite me.
after something that can do that.
Yeah. It's yeah.
Anyway, those are my two like hypothetical. I mean, no, well, I guess one of them's not very hypothetical. I'm sure there are people who handle venomous spiders all the time.
Zookeepers,
so.
baby.
Yeah, man.
But I wouldn't be very comfortable doing that. But yeah, the other one is a little bit more hypothetical. No one needs to test a coffin. Let's just make it big enough for a human and.
I like-
body.
Dude, yeah, that's
I like that they
That
had you
is-
buried in it too to test
Well,
it.
you get yeah.
It's thorough.
I don't see what the point.
All of our coffins are 100% human tested.
Hey, that's all I came up with on short notice, guys. Leave me
And,
alone.
you have
No,
the
I-
ad, and
I-
then it's just like all of our coffins are 100% human tested, and then it just shows like, and then it just goes to the background, and they pull one out of the ground, and it opens, and the
Yeah,
guy
it's-
falls out.
You know the little quality tested like tags and
Yes.
stuff? Yeah. They're in your coffin.
Yeah.
I was that guy.
That is awful.
I'm
Dear
cute.
God, don't put me back! Don't put me back!
Quality tester number 3 made sure your coffin was up to standard.
I don't know if this is.
And if you would like to
Right.
attend his funeral, it's on the 8th.
He's already buried, so we're just gonna have a graveside ceremony.
It worked, and he couldn't get out. That's how you know.
It's
That's
incredibly
how
effective.
Proved.
It's undead proof.
Yeah.
Jesus, that's a nightmare. That is a nightmare.
So these
I
are
know,
gently
man.
used coffins then.
Yeah.
well, briefly.
Incredibly gently. Well, maybe
if you were
not.
one of
Maybe
those-
you were clawing at the inside. You know, so-
What if you were like what is that town? What is it in Mexico where they have like that wall filled with coffins and stuff, and after a certain amount of time, because like I know in Europe even, like you rent your space for a certain amount of time. Like imagine being the person who has to dig all those people up and like, all right, your time's up.
What?
Damn.
What are you talking about?
Well, I think that there's one place, I think it's in Mexico, where it's just like the side of a hill and it's just all carved open for like coffins and stuff. But after a certain amount of time, they're like, all right, somebody else needs that space.
Where do they put the body?
You incinerate
I
it.
guess.
or
I mean,
Yeah.
that would be just a kind of a crappy job in general, just disinterring bodies, you know?
Well, hey, I mean that used to be. I mean, body snatchers used to be a thing.
Yeah, but they, like, enjoyed it, I guess, right?
Well, no.
Oh, you
these
mean
were, like
grave robbers, I guess is what I was thinking.
Yeah. I mean, these were dudes who just like had to like kids most of the time who just had to like go and like dig up recently buried bodies so that people could use them for science or
Oh,
other
yeah.
things.
Well, yeah, the body snatching thing, Grady. Oh, God, Grady, you're probably the most likely to know. What is it? There's those 2 grave robbers from England, and they even had like nursery rhymes about them. And then
Solomon
they would
Grundy.
sell, they would dig up bodies and then sell the skeletons to medical facilities.
Yeah.
Some of those
I
series,
remember
yeah,
that.
definitely
I
have.
don't remember whom, but
Like the Stitch or whatever, or the Nick or whatever.
Burke and Hare. No, that's not
Yeah, hair. That was it. That was
Burke and
it.
Hare.
Burke and Hare. Yeah, they have there's a little nursery rhyme about them. One's the butcher,
Burke
and
and-
the other
Burke and
one's the
Hare.
whatever. I don't remember. Yeah, something along those lines.
I feel like that's kind
One's
of...
the butcher, the other's the thief. Something. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they were originally grave robbing, and then they started just
Selling the
some
skeletons.
folks.
killing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
baking
Yeah, they
them
started
into pies,
they started killing people. Yeah.
selling them on Fleet Street.
Get your corpse here! Get your fucking corpse here! No? Alright.
Cool.
It's funnier when we didn't laugh, Chris. That's we all had to hold on.
One funnier to me.
Well, it's funnier at your expense.
Yeah, sorry.
Which is funny.
I
So
just drink this whole bottle of tequila. I'll see who's laughing then.
That's fine. Probably you.
Yeah, probably. Quite a bit. I've done it before. When I slap somebody, that we might need to cut that out.
Yeah.
What if you?
That's right.
What if you were a comedian that always bombed, like, but that's what you had to do for a living?
Well, that's
Ah,
a Twilight
that.
Zone thing, or that's like a no.
Twilight.
That is a deal with the devil. That's Faustian agreement. I want to be a famous comedian.
Oh, yeah,
okay,
for sure.
and then you become a famous comedian, but you're famous for never being funny.
For being shitty.
Like,
People,
just
like,
come
buy
to
tickets,
berate
though.
you. Yeah, you're successful, but people come just to berate you and like belittle you.
Successful because you're just so bad.
Just
Like
like
they're-
heckle you.
Yeah, they're not even like there to laugh at how bad you are. They just like don't. I don't know.
You're a spectacle.
Yeah.
You're a spectacle of terribleness. That's bad.
Yeah, that wouldn't be very
Yeah,
fun.
that's a bad one. Deodorant tester, or like deodorant smell tester.
That sounds fine.
I mean, as long as your deodorant is like most deodorants, then it's probably going to be fine. But every now and then you're going to
Yeah.
get that one that fails, I guess.
Well, but it's the thing. You're
Steven,
sniffing
give it-
armpits.
It's
Steven,
just
give us
smelling
your
an
sweaty
armpit, though.
armpits
I could
all day.
live. I mean, I don't know.
Wait,
don't know,
so
man.
Josh, did you give us both a hypothetical and a real one? I don't remember.
Well, on accident, I gave a real.
The spider
on
thing is kinda
accident.
real.
I
That
did
wasn't-
it on accident.
Well, that wasn't the real one that I have
yes,
selected.
indeed.
You know,
You know,
the
what's
spider
that
thing
selected?
wasn't the real one I selected. Oh,
What's
you
the real one then?
The real one would be like counseling like sex offenders, like serious sex offenders, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
That
Like,
would be hard.
I think it's a good thing that someone out there is trying to fix them, but I don't think I could deal with it. Like if they
No.
messed with kids or something like that,
No.
I couldn't continue to do that. At least like in a sober state. Like I would have to
think
be
I-
completely fucked up all the time.
That's,
I think
that's
it was
that's
on this cast. I think I talked about when I was externing at that court up in like Jesus, I can't remember the county off the top of my head, but up in Conroe, and there were several cases that I listened to where it was sex offenders, you know, going after these little girls, and it's just like you go home and you don't want to eat, you don't want to do anything, you just
Yeah,
feel
I mean-
gross.
feel dirty. You
Yeah.
feel dirty.
Like this is the world we live in where people prey on little kids, and it's
Yeah.
just like, and you know what happens, but you're not exposed to it. When you're
Right.
exposed to, like, imagine being exposed
Yeah.
to it every single day.
Yeah.
Like you'd
that
be
would
so
rough.
depressed.
I'd be depressed and angry and just like fucking all the bad emotions like all the time.
That's deep, Josh.
Like,
That's
I
some
would
good
feel like,
self-awareness from
You
you.
know, what day do I snap and go over the counter at somebody? You know?
Yeah, I mean it's
Wow.
but that's just like such a psychological. I don't know. It just would fuck everything
Yeah.
up. You
Yeah.
know? I
No,
couldn't
agree
do
with
that.
you. I
It
agree
takes
with you.
a very like it takes a person who's probably a little bit fucked up already, and then also who is like has the self-awareness and willingness to like be able to like heal themselves in a meaningful way.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're doing a job like that, you'd have to have a therapist like that you saw
Like you're you
bi-weekly,
Right.
You know,
At
like-
least, yeah.
well.
I think you just, I don't know if it'd take that. I feel like it would just be someone very dedicated to their cause. Like criminal attorneys who are.
but
who-
you'd have to have a therapist. I mean,
Well,
you'd have
yeah,
to.
but I'm saying like criminal attorneys who go, okay, I'm here. This person might be terrible, but I have to make sure the state does its job properly, or justice
Right.
cannot prevail the correct
Yeah,
way.
yeah. That's
But
fair.
here
That's
it's
fair.
like, okay, this person's bad, but my job is to
Try to fix
to
them
see
to
if
make
I
them
can
good,
why
or
they're
better.
Get
bad
the-
and
yeah.
prevent
prevent
this
it from
person
happening
again.
I am what
Yeah.
stands between that happening again. But if they go out and do it again, imagine how you'd feel in that situation.
You'd have to. That's
Yeah.
the thing. You have to compartmentalize
Yeah.
in such a.
You'd have to
meaningful way.
separate yourself from your job, essentially.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we need to develop sufficiently advanced AI and androids to do that shit.
To do that
That's-
shit exactly. I would totally donate to that to save a human
To
being
save,
from
to
having
save
to.
our site, save
Yeah.
our psyches
Yeah.
from having to do that.
So,
How are you
Yeah, I
today,
mean-
Mr. Epstein?
I'm just imagining the robots from District 9 that have like
Exactly.
graffiti
Android
all over them.
Android guards wouldn't have mysteriously fallen asleep on duty, so
Oh, that's true.
That's fair.
Oh.
That's fair.
Hashtag Epstein
That's fair.
cover up.
Although
Clinton crime family.
androids could theoretically be manipulated, I suppose.
True. They would have just
If you
hacked
figure
them.
out the algorithm.
Oh yeah, man. Didn't you just hack it? Oh man, that's like a video.
Hacked
game.
them, and their body camera
Deep shit,
failed,
man.
and yeah, it still
That's
would
like
have
Watch
happened. Never mind.
Dogs, man.
Yeah, man. Who knows?
Maybe he
I was
had
trying to
Android
make
guards, and they were hacked.
I was trying to make a Deus Ex show, but I can't remember. Okay, my name is Adam Jensen. I'm a convicted pedophile, but I'm gonna hack this computer so it lets me leave. I don't know.
Oh no! don't put that
Come
evil on
on.
Adam. I love
Adam's
Adam.
not that bad.
He could be
I
if you
love
played him
Adam.
that way.
No, there are not molestation options in
There,
that
there
game.
should be there should be some sort of limit. You know, I know we always say we want to be able to do everything in
That
yeah,
is
to
a
make
hard limit.
all of our choices, but
that one is off the.
Yeah.
There are certain things that should not be allowed in virtual reality either. So
He was
that
just
is
the
one
only
of them.
famous cyborg that hacks shit that I could think of off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put that on RoboCop. He couldn't. He doesn't even have genitals.
What about what about Data? You gonna put that on Data? You gonna put that evil on Data?
No, Data's too wonderful.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So what we're saying here is robots aren't inherently evil.
of course.
Robots aren't inherently anything. That's the point.
Yeah. There you go.
It's just like Top in the new Dragon Ball Super episode. I am no longer.
Oh, yeah.
I'm beyond such binary things. Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes gender
wait,
fluid
he's-
in case
yeah,
you're,
I was
in case
gonna
you're worried
say.
about spoilers.
Nice.
Josh.
Spoilers.
Now I'm very intrigued by this new episode.
Apparently, there are people who exist who have to be bitten by mosquitoes
Oh yeah.
for testing.
Mm-hmm. They put their
That
hands
sounds-
in the thing and they
like-
swarm
Yeah.
it.
Is that literally
yeah.
all they do though? Like, surely they got other shit going on during
It's a
the
9
day.
to 5, man.
Yeah, sometimes
I mean,
they
they're
get
just-
bitten
they're
by
just-
ants. Sometimes they get bitten by.
Oh, so that's
Like they're
just your job is to get bitten by insects? Like,
Put
yeah,
your
that's
time
so
in
long
at
and
the
big.
bite
That's-
factory.
That sounds awful.
I-
I think that would.
I don't.
I might kill myself in that case.
I would like to see if that is like an actual like 9 to 5 job. Like I'm going to the office again today to get bit. Like why? What's the
My
No,
arm
I'm
is
you know,
sure
like
it's not.
swollen.
It's one of
that's
those.
like a
it's one of
volunteer
those-
job or like one of those.
It's a not
Or,
volunteer.
yeah,
fuck.
like
I mean,
you
it's
pick
like,
it up
study
because you're
participant.
homeless or whatever.
It's a test subject
Yeah,
type thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Okay, Steven, give us your hypothetical and your worst in your real one. You haven't gone yet.
I'm mostly just because I've been kind of guiding us. I don't really have like very specific
cheater,
ones.
you cheated.
Fuck.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, this it's the way I normally do these shows. I don't know if y'all.
Yeah, well,
noticed
you
that.
came up with the idea.
We try not to notice what you do in these shows.
Yeah, thanks,
Try
bitch.
to ignore it.
No, but I mean, I think I gave my like quote unquote theoretical worst.
Yeah, you
would
like
just be,
armpits.
like the like vomit poop.
Oh.
Cum
Oh, yeah,
catcher.
that's true.
I don't.
That was-
yeah, that's-
All at once.
He doesn't like bodily fluids. We have established that.
yeah.
I don't think any of us do.
I don't know. The real worst job would be like anything like just so mind numbing. You know, like there's so many jobs out there like
Bullshit jobs like Grady talked
like
about.
transcriptionist.
Oh, like in Brazil where she's like typing away as they're getting tortured.
I'm like-
Transcriptionist
like
for an
just-
interrogation room would be really bad.
I don't know because
No,
if you're a
see, at least in
transcriptionist,
that case, it
you
would be
disconnect
interesting.
yourself. No, I feel like if you do that for a living,
Asterisk, loud screaming, close asterisk.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people that do that for a living, like a stenographer, like I don't think they even really know what's like being said. It's just like,
That's what I'm saying. It's so mind numbing. It's so boring.
yeah, okay, so like, okay, yes, it's boring, but at the same time, is that like the worst thing? Like,
Well, because
Yes.
what else are you going to do? Like, you can visually do things that don't require you to think about them, and that's it, because you also have to think about what's being said and transcribe it.
Well, back in the day in the legal field, if you had to do like a voice memo to yourself, you would later give it to your secretary and say, "All right, go through this whole thing and
Who would
transcribe it."
dictate.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just think at a certain point, if that's all you do all the time, then you're just like going through the motions, and you're psychologically disconnected from what you're hearing. You're just
Yeah,
like
but
typing it down.
that sounds like a nightmare.
I don't know, man.
Like I don't ever want to be in a job where I'm so mentally disengaged from it that I've like like, oh my god, that just sounds like torture.
That's
like
tons of jobs out there.
Yeah,
man.
I was gonna
I
say,
know,
it's,
but I-
Anything.
unfortunately, that's like,
But that I hate it. That's why that's why the things that I've always wanted to do have been engaging. You know, I've worked in retail forever. I want to teach. You know, I want to engage. I want to be around people. Like
Sure.
just having like a singular job that is repetitive, like assembly, like anything that's repetitive and mind-numbing and meaningless.
Like
not
making a movie
meaningless,
for
but-
Disney now.
But like I can't. Anything like that would be absolute hell for me.
All right, Steve.
I have to be engaged. I have to be. Otherwise, I'm going to suicide.
What if you're making
I
just
will
like
suicide.
what if you're making just like ridiculous money for this repetitive bullshit?
Yeah, what if you're a translator?
Like what if you were making the amount of money like you could do anything you wanted, outside of work. Like money is no option or no.
So I'm
no
doing something.
object,
I'm doing
rather.
like the same. I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing something mind-numbing and awful and
For
terrible.
8 hours a
and,
day.
For 8 hours a day, but I'm making like $150,000 a year.
Yeah, like plenty of money to support you, your family. Like there's
Yeah.
great health insurance, like all benefits.
Everything taken care
I
of.
will say there is, as an attorney, like there is some, like I do definitely miss having a job where even though it wasn't satisfying day to day, I don't have to think about it when I go home. But now I'm like constantly stressing out about how something's gonna go all the time. So
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, God. Yeah. I would do it, I guess, for at least a little while.
Yeah.
But if I had if it was like you must do this for the rest of your life or do something else, sort of weird scenario that we're painting.
Yeah. I was gonna say, in this hypothetical, let's say you can't escape from the job. Like you have to have it the rest of your life.
I don't think so.
But
I don't think so. I don't
Yeah,
think
that's
I
the
could do it.
problem. Is you can do it for a while and then you're like,
I'm
I
too
need
in
to
my head.
change.
That's the problem. Is that I live with too much anxiety and
then drug yourself up, babe.
and
So everyone else does.
depression in my own head.
so,
So like
that
just
would
living in
eke
living
into
living
your
in a-
everyday. Yeah, I gotcha.
Exactly, like living in a world where I'm having to do like something that I have to sort of like, I'm in my head all day long with no interaction.
Yeah, you can't take your mind off of your thoughts essentially.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I will.
I gotcha.
I guarantee you, I would suicide. Like,
So
there's
if-
no way.
Alternatively, if you could do it for like 2 or 3 years and save up some money, like
Yeah, I can.
you could live it that long and like put away some
could-
money,
I could
go
do
do
that.
what you wanted.
Yeah. I could do that.
I'm looking for that opportunity. If I could get paid like $500,000 a year for the
Yeah.
next 3 years doing just some meaningless shit,
Well,
hit
Hey,
me up.
I will
works,
do
man.
I will do a meaningless job for a couple years for a lot of money.
So yeah,
It's completely
Hit me up.
disproportional to the value that I provide doing said job.
If you're looking to
that
lose a
is
lot of
the-
money for no reason,
that is the
Continue.
inherent problem with that fantasy. Is like
Yes.
any of those jobs you're not.
So it
getting
truly is a fantasy.
paid. Yeah.
That's funny. All right, who has something they hadn't said yet?
I don't think I said the real one, right?
Sure.
I just
Oh,
did
no,
the
you did.
executioner thing.
And we've
It's in a
just
similar
done
vein.
worse jobs so far, right? So we'll like transition here.
So
in a minute
everyone's
to best.
done their real and their hypothetical. So Grady has to do his real one. He hasn't
Yeah.
done his real one yet.
Yeah, so my real worst job, I think, would be a soldier. I'm not physically like cut out to be a soldier. I'm like not in shape.
Let's assume that you were in shape.
Okay, and also
That's a big assumption.
and also with that, I mean, you're just talking military at all, or are you talking like combat ready?
A
Like,
combat and infantryman.
sure.
Yeah.
Like, no, I could totally cut it on like a submarine or a navy
Or even
ship
just
or-
like a support role, like
yeah, or just for
engineer
sure.
or
I could
whatever.
definitely do that. Not a problem. But like an infantryman or spec ops or something where I'm in the line of fire all the time.
I've heard being on a sub is tough, man. You're in that cramped little
Oh, yeah, I'm
space
sure
for
that
months
sucks.
at a
But
time.
like on a,
But you get good food.
yeah, I
Yeah,
mean
like
they eat
carrot
submarine
yeah, you're
sandwiches
supposed to
all the
get
time.
good food.
Isn't that why they're called submarine sandwiches? Because they're really good. They eat all the submarine.
Steven died.
I killed Steven. Victory is
Good.
mine. I think I
no,
just
I don't
pissed
know.
Chris off. He's not going to talk to me anymore.
Again, I would have to
Pissed
kill
off because
people.
That
Chris
got more
just-
laughs than my
Chris just
selling
tilted
corpses
into
on
the
the
upside down.
street joke. That's why I'm fucking angry.
Well, one is inherently more good natured than the other.
You shouldn't
one is
have made
dark
that
shit.
deal where you're a
Oh yeah, that's
famous-
true.
They're constantly
Comedian.
Where
tanking
all your
comedians.
comedy
Your
is just-
Faustian deal.
Man, that needs to be a skit. Cut this. Cut all.
Submarine sandwiches.
What the Faustian comedian
Yeah,
thing?
yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking submarine sandwiches.
No, fuck
No,
you.
aren't they submarines? Because they look like so. Anyway,
So yeah, being a soldier,
I don't think
infantry
Josh
soldier.
actually requires that to
That'd
be
be more
explained to him.
Yeah,
it does.
jerk.
That's why it's funny.
I'd have to kill people. I wouldn't really believe in it.
Just
Are
like
your worst
Grady's
jobs
just
involve
trying his
killing?
best.
Yeah, just keep
Yeah.
talking, Grady. It's fine.
Yeah. No, I'm not good at
So-
that. I'm not that patriotic. I'm not. I wouldn't have
Yeah.
any real stake in it and stuff. So
Would you? Okay, I keep doing this, and if you guys want me to stop, I can.
no, That's cool.
No.
And-
I like your hypothetical.
Yeah, if you were a combat soldier, but it was okay if you didn't shoot at anyone, you were just there to like get the civilians
What if
out
you
of
were
the
a
way.
combat? What if you were a combat medic?
Oh
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
fuck that. No way.
You-
People are bleeding all over me, dying all over me. No thanks. Oh my god.
Oh, stop!
Okay,
No, that's arguably worse. I could at least do my job shittily until they threw me out of the army if I were.
So the takeaway here is that never rely on Grady to save your life ever.
Yes. Don't rely on me to do that.
so Grady, you're a combat soldier. You're not a medic. You don't have to deal with anybody's blood. You're just there to like get the civilians. Like you're in cities in Iraq or Afghanistan. You're just
purely support.
You're just there to get like the civilians out of the way, or like keep them from running out in the street. Could you do that? You're like a
mean-
translator or something.
That makes it like, while that
like,
makes it better, it's, I don't know. I still would hate to do it. I mean, I guess I could do it, but what is this description name? What am I'm
So, okay,
translating?
Get it,
Yeah, like say you're like a translator. Like they don't even give you a gun necessarily, or like you
Or
get
a
a pistol,
reporter.
but you're not expected to shoot at the enemy. You're just there with the combat people in case you encounter civilians during.
I'm like the liaison or something. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
I could do that. But specifically, if I were,
chaplain or a reporter.
yeah, that would be fine.
You can deal with
or-
that. Okay,
But again, that's like support. If I were actually
sure.
I guess. Assault troop, whatever, then I would.
Grady,
want to
could
do
you
that.
be someone like a general who ordered people, go do something, knowing that a vast majority of them would die?
No. I mean,
that'd be tough.
no. I could do it if we're talking like World War II. But and I
Where you
guess
know
I
that
could
it's
soldier
this or
in
we
World
all
War
die
II.
kind of a
Yeah, if
thing.
I'm like fighting against
Like
actually
a real,
really bad
actual
guys. But if it's
powerful
just like
evil.
counterinsurgency or something and I don't
Yeah.
believe in it, then I'm going to be like terrible at it.
Okay.
And I would hate it. Not
Yeah, I guess I
terrible,
was just
because
trying
we're
to-
not focusing on being bad at it, but I would hate it.
Yeah. Okay.
Avengers game, man.
So yeah, that's my worst real one.
So I guess we're moving on to positives.
So Grady hates the troops.
Yep, Grady hates soldiers.
Of course, I'm
Grady
just
hates
kidding.
soldiers. Grady hates the
Yeah,
military.
Josh is just
You heard it
kidding.
here first.
What was that?
Jesus.
I missed it.
All right, Chris, what's your best?
Both hypothetical and real.
Nah, just one of them.
Whatever.
Make a selection.
Okay, well, first let's go with my real one. I really want to be a voice actor, like real bad.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I don't think that's a secret.
yeah.
What? You've never told me this.
Damn it, we were keeping that secret from Grady for some reason.
I don't know. Like I can obviously there's the goofy voices thing.
Yeah,
but,
man.
Like I remember we were all playing a game or something, and like I started doing a song but like oscillating in a weird way. Like my girlfriend just to be goofy. And like Steven stopped everything and was like, if anything, Chris, the thing that you can do that I wish I could is your voice control is just stupid. Like,
You can manipulate it so
the
well.
way you can
Like,
manipulate it at a
I
whim.
pride myself on my voice. I think I have a good voice,
Yeah.
and like I
Yeah.
think I can sing well. But like Chris has manipulation of the way his voice sounds in such a way that
Yeah,
I'm
Chris
very
is a
jealous of.
manipulator for sure.
Yeah, dude.
He's manipulative of his voice.
Of his voice. No, yeah, I've always been jealous of some of your imitations and stuff, man. Some of them are just so fucking
Yeah.
spot on.
I haven't been jealous of them, but I appreciate them.
I just, I feel like
I don't want the skill,
I
but
don't care. I'm good,
the thing is, with anything, grass is always greener kind of thing. Like I'm sure,
Sure.
like if I end up somehow getting to do it, there would be aspects of it I would absolutely hate. But
Yeah,
I
you
feel like that's the case
you
with
might-
anything.
Yeah, you might get stuck in some like really dumb like baby cartoons for a while, you know, like doing the same.
Teletubbies.
Yeah.
Or they inexplicably make you like take out the trash or swim in poop or something.
And I think it's called like
No,
Piss
Chris,
Baby.
in order to get the exact right emotion out of your voice, we're going to need you, like, in pain,
Just
so we're
swim
going to
poop.
dump you in shit. Speak into this microphone.
Yuck.
Piss Baby's coming to Disney streaming.
What a full
Piss
circle.
babies.
That's incredible.
Piss baby.
The Deadspin
That's-
documentary.
It fit too well with the anyway.
Piss
man,
baby, the story of Deadspin. I love it.
But like to get a job on like a show you know appreciate, like say Rick and Morty called you for like a fucking
No.
you know
I just,
for
look,
3 or 4 episode deal or whatever, you know.
it's like part that,
cool.
part comedy. Like, I think
Yeah.
what I really just want to do is entertain. Like, that's all I really want to do. If I can bring life to a character that people love, if I can stand in front of a crowd and make jokes and just bring some fucking light into this drab, miserable world we live in, then that's, you know, I feel like I'd be happy. Like, I feel like that's truly how I would find myself. That's
Yeah,
what-
no, I'll caveat in here a little bit, and that was kind of the way I had sort of looked at it was, you know, less so, you know, on the live aspect of it, but I love doing this show. I love, you know, kind of like making this content and stuff like that, and I love the idea that, or at least I hope that we are, you know, like making people laugh.
Yeah.
You know.
Nah, everyone that's reached out to me has just been bawling.
And that's why people like
sad.
You brought me
Bawling.
to tears.
And that's why people like us tend to have very dark senses of humor as well. Like, if you can take something that's horrible and make someone laugh about it. Then
Lessens
that
the
whole-
blow, kind of.
And
Yeah.
we, you know, we talk. It's not probably, you know, super unclear at this point that, you know, we've got our, you know, personal demons and, you know, what have you, and so it's like the Robin Williams thing. It's like, you know, we don't want people to, you know, feel some of the things that, you know, we tend to feel, so we want to make you laugh instead. And I think that's cool, and that's what I want to do. I want to make people laugh. I want to make people feel good. I want to. Yeah.
I just want to
that's-
bring out that Steven's cheating again by saying his dream job is the podcast.
Yeah, I
such a
thought that was
cop-out.
specifically off limits.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it?
But you can make
like, I remember
Steven's
just
dream
as an
job come
aside-
true by subscribing to the
Supporting us.
Patreon.
Describing- Like, as an aside-
Patreon.com/the
We're just gonna cut it here. This was all an advertisement.
advertisement for the podcast. Like,
It's
there
just
was,
an hour-long ad.
I remember watching a Penny Arcade thing, and they were doing a you know, when they were still doing Penny Arcade, like, there was the TV show. I think it went on for 4 seasons where they document them day to day, and sometimes you'd really get, like, sometimes there'd be like a series that they'd do within it where you'd like, okay, this episode's going to be another 4th panel where they talk about, or they show you in the writing room as they come up with a comic, but then the next day it would be like, today we're going to go to PAX or something, or we're going to work on this aspect of something. There was one where they went to a convention, and some guy gets up and he just goes, you know, I entered the military, and, you know, I basically, you know, we had internet access where I was, but it was just a hellhole type situation, and, like, I looked forward to every single, you know, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday where I knew I was getting a new Penny Arcade comic,
to
and
sit
I
on
was
Penny
always there
Arcade.
to read it
Aw.
the second it came out because of how much joy it brought me. And, like, before we could even finish, Jerry got down off the stage and walked towards him and gave him, like, the biggest hug I've ever seen. And I was just like, I want to bring that amount of joy to someone's life.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do.
That will make my life meaningful.
Yes,
you know,
right.
that will make my life worth something.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm not a technical person. I'm not an inventor. I'm not a medical person. I'm not going
Right.
to create some vaccine. I'm not going to create some
Hey, never say never.
new
man.
technology that's going to change people's lives. But I do want to make
if
a
I can
difference.
make someone laugh,
and I think
then
I can
that's
do
fine.
that
Yeah.
through, like, creating a character that people love or making someone laugh at a joke. Like, that's what I want more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that'd be
And
my
I think
dream
that's
job.
why. I think it's why we. You know, I think that's why we kind of like sink well into this, and that's why we're good at this. Is, or I think we are anyway. It's because we just want to be funny.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you know, why did we invite Grady?
That is the real question.
It took
That's
something
true.
so
That's
beautiful.
I was wondering. I
Right,
was like,
that's a
well,
great point.
this doesn't apply to me at all. I don't.
I'm
I
sorry,
never make anyone
I'm
laugh.
sorry, Grady. I had to do it.
It's all right.
We were getting a little too chummy around here.
Yeah.
Knock him down a peg.
Censor that, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, we could
Don't censor that. That was great. That's honest feedback.
Honest feedback.
Well, Grady, what?
Speaking of Grady's,
No, to be honest, the,
wonderful
the
Grady.
censoring it would
Obviously,
be funnier, so do that.
since obviously making people, being part of this podcast is not your dream job, and you're just doing it because we're forcing you to.
Yeah.
What
At
would your
gunpoint.
dream job be?
Yeah,
That's the
My dream
that was the
job.
guy Steven had
We
at
j-
gunpoint.
at gunpoint. Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
My dream job would be. And nothing isn't a real dream job. But it would be cool if you could just like exist without having a job, and society wouldn't be like, "You're a bum. You have
Oh,
no
okay.
money."
I was gonna say
You
you
know.
definitely can exist without having a job, but yeah.
Yeah,
the caveat
but
of
you
not
know,
being a bum.
the material consequences, the societal
You may or may
consequences,
not
not
die
great.
from starvation and dehydration, but
Yeah.
do it.
So, but Lo, my dream job while having a job would be, in some respects, I know there are negative parts to it, but being a speechwriter for like a
Oh,
high
man,
profile politician.
For your
That'd be pretty
favorite
cool.
That'd be
president,
cool.
Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
No,
No,
but like
obviously for somebody that I believed in. Or
yeah,
something,
like a
you know.
Oh, so
candidate
Joe
you
Biden.
do really get behind.
So you want
Yeah,
to
Joe
speeches for
Biden, of course. Joe Biden. Fighting Joe Biden.
No, Sleepy
So,
Joe. He's Sleepy
really,
Joe now.
so a speechwriter. That's
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think I like to consider myself as having a pretty good command of words and rhetoric and stuff.
the best from the four of us.
Yeah, for sure.
easily.
And I mean, I'm terrible at actually giving speeches myself.
Oh, so it's like
But you're-
vicariously
that's-
giving the speech. That's
Yeah,
cool.
and I'm like-
Everything you
that's
could do is
where I'm
support.
getting at. Is because you're an incredible writer, and so like your dream job is not to have like this incredibly successful like book.
No.
It's to be a speechwriter.
Yeah, because like I also very much believe in certain political leanings and stuff. I don't, however, like engaging in the direct politics of it in terms of like going out there,
Yeah.
shaking hands, getting votes, whatever. So that would be kind of a way, I wouldn't be delivering the speech or anything. I wouldn't be,
Be the
Shaking
power
babies and
behind the
kissing
throne,
hands.
man.
yeah, but I would be directing policy in that way and
Yeah.
stuff. So I think that
You
would
want to be
cool.
a puppet master is what you want to do. You want to be behind the scenes.
Yeah, that would be dope. Like,
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
he's
if you were writing
kind of the
speeches,
puppet
would
master
you-
of the cast. So
Grady, if you were writing speeches, would you try to put in like little references to things you liked? Would you try to sneak them in?
if I thought it was effective, yeah, I wouldn't.
I
So you
think
wouldn't do anything just for fun. It would be pure like.
Grady's already done that when he gave his speech at our graduation.
True. Yeah.
I
No,
don't
I mean,
know
I guess
about
I do
this.
that.
I didn't know you gave a
but
speech. Were you
I was
We don't have
salutatorian?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he let our
So-
friend know that he actually had friends.
Okay, I want to interrupt real quick. Everyone out there,
Steven, we can barely hear you.
Google
There you go.
Google pufferfish with Donald Trump's lips.
Oh. So Grady's giving you this answer, and you're
Yeah,
just
like,
looking at
very
goofy
deep
pictures on the
answer.
internet.
No, this is Haley's fault. You can blame Haley.
Okay.
She showed me the picture. She said it's a picture that says my new hobby, putting Donald Trump's lips on pufferfish.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
It's
Okay,
so
the one
funny.
where it's
Would you
teeth
rather
are
do
like,
that, Grady?
The one where
Yeah,
its
that's a
mouth is
pretty good
crossed,
job.
and it's like going. Like, that's the one I love the most.
There.
Tell Haley she's a queen. Oh my god, this is the rest of my day.
So good. They're so good.
What about putting pufferfish lips on Donald Trump? Has anyone tried that? Can we be the
Pufferfish
first
don't
ones?
have lips, do they? Like really?
Yes, fish have
I don't-
lips.
Do fish have lips?
I don't know how that
Yes.
would look.
Fish lips? Yeah, fish
What if
lips.
we
Yeah, I
put
guess that is
what if
an
we
insult.
put pufferfish
Fish lips.
on Donald Trump's lips? Josh said.
Oh, I like the last one. It's small.
He should get on that.
All right.
Josh said, Haley said, "Get to Photoshop and."
I know. I'm working on it right now.
Anyway,
yeah. So that's
So that's Grady's
Yeah,
dream
Grady.
job.
That's what I would do.
Grady,
We'll
the speech
do-
writer.
But I also realize it would
We'll do,
suck because
I
you'd
guess,
have to be
Steven,
like
did
on
you
the
kinda
campaign
go?
trail. Your
You
work would
kinda
be your
went.
life. So
yeah, kind of.
So
that's
Josh-
like the
basically
downside.
my answer
but-
too.
So Josh, give us your dream job, and then we'll do all of our hypothetical dreams, like our.
Okay, so my real dream
Yeah.
job
Yeah.
And then we'll and then just go ahead and do your other one, and then we'll all do our thing.
And then we'll cycle through.
Yeah, I guess that's a good thing because I think I couldn't really decide on like real. Well, I guess. Okay, yeah, I'll just kind of talk about some jobs that I wish I had, I guess, or that
fine.
existed.
You did wake up very late, so we get it.
Yeah, one it kind of is.
You won some awards, baby. It's all
Yeah.
that counts.
Cooking actually is kind of along one of the jobs that I wish. Like, I wish, and it's probably exists, but like an experimental chef, I guess, like working for a restaurant chain or something, and all I do every day is like try to come up with new ways to cook shit.
So
Like
Grady
test kitchen?
helps create the
Yeah, like a
Soylent
test
Green,
kitchen
and then you
situation.
use it.
Do what?
So Grady helps make the Soylent Green.
Yeah, and
you
I
experiment.
find new and exciting ways to present Soylent Green with exotic ingredients.
I
No,
hear
like,
putting it on the plate with a picture of the meal it's supposed to be is good.
brought to you by Jeff, and here's a picture of Jeff.
Screaming. Like, here are his final moments.
Jeff was farm raised. We didn't catch him in the wild, unfortunately, but yeah. But if I had like an unlimited, that's where the hypothetical comes in, I guess, like an unlimited kitchen, like with all of the exotic ingredients all over the world, and just get to try different shit with all that, like.
So that's why you love Overcooked.
Yeah, I guess. I guess overcooked that, and because we like spend time together as friends.
That's true.
I could take or leave that.
But that
Now
was
we know you could.
that. I guess that might have leaned a little more hypothetical because of like the unlimited access to stuff and not having like a regimented. We need this kind of dish. Come up with a good way to make it. Like just get.
That's
to
a
cook
good
whatever the fuck I
hypothetical.
want.
Yeah.
That's a good hypothetical job, though, because that actually would be useful for some. If we just had somebody or people out there discovering new dishes as their job,
Yeah,
that'd be neat.
Yeah, I figured Steven might like that too.
Yeah.
I guess
Steven just came a little.
I guess a more.
I love that.
I guess my more realistic.
Quickly,
job,
bring in the Steven Cumcatcher.
It's dark timeline, Steven.
I guess my more realistic side job would be involving animals, some type of animal advocacy.
Dude, yeah. Zoos are great.
Whether it be through zoos or like pet adoption. I mean anything involved.
Conservation,
Yeah.
no-kill
babies.
shelters.
Right, all of that I could definitely get behind.
Rehabilitation places, like horses maybe.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
No
That'd
kill
be
shelters
fun.
would be
Those are so
tough
cool.
because they have to turn away so many people.
Yeah, it would be
Yeah.
better than like saying, sure, we'll take your dog and then we'll kill it in 3 months, though, right?
No, I'm glad it seems like
Well,
we're
shelters
slowly
in general
phasing out.
are tough.
It seems like we're phasing out kill shelters, which is a good thing. But
Yeah.
Well,
Except for PETA.
I was kind of on the
fuck
more.
PETA. That's a whole other podcast. Let's do a podcast later over like
Just a fuck
advocacy
PETA
groups that
podcast?
turned out to be bastards. Let's do that.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess as far as the realistic like dream job wouldn't be very necessarily shelter oriented. It'd be more
Yeah.
like the
You'd have infinite resources, and you could just
Well,
take as many babies as you
that
want. You
that's
could just
another that's where
take
it gets
them all.
hypothetical again.
You just run Dog Island. Like,
Yeah, I would live on Dog Island forever.
Dude, Dog Island sounds like a paradise.
Oh.
Just pups.
That's
Just pups
probably
everywhere.
that's probably what heaven is.
There's a Greek island where you just hang out with cats.
That would kill me.
Sounds cool
That'd
too.
be
That
okay.
would murder me.
I would
I'm
love that.
allergic.
And apparently, they all the cats are like, "Yep, we love you."
Yeah, if all the cats are cool with me, then that'd be great.
Yeah.
Same with Dog Island, I guess. I wouldn't want angry dogs.
Well, I would rather angry cats than angry dogs because I could like throw the angry cats off of me, whereas the dogs would just like maul me to death.
I don't know,
Although
man.
Throat, yeah.
What if
I've
it's like a
heard-
teacup Pomeranian that's really pissed at you?
I've heard like cat bites are some of the worst because their teeth are so sharp and needly that they'll push bacteria into your blood and you can like get real fucked up from it.
Guess what that infection is called?
What is it called?
Cat scratch fever.
Cat scratch fever.
Really?
Yes, sir.
I was just guessing, but that's that was the appropriate.
I thought it was just like having a hard on for the girl being crazy, but okay.
No, that's real. Cat
Okay.
scratch fever is a real thing.
Tell that to Ted Nugent.
That's the
who
main
is-
symptom.
Who probably
Uh,
suffers from cat scratch fever in some form or another, because that dude is crazy. All right.
So no, that Josh, that pseudo reminded me of something that I've always wanted to do. I've always told Haley, I'm surprised this didn't come up when we started talking about
you
this
like
until
cooking,
just
baby.
now. Yeah, I want, like, if I had sort of like infinite resources.
You'd be a
what
butt
I would
plug
love-
tester.
what I
Resources, and that's what you choose.
what I
Bring me all the plastic,
Christ.
all of it.
God, what I would love to do is have like
Basement is a treasure trove.
a
I love butt plugs.
That's a double entendre when you say basement.
oh no, I don't like that. Don't.
That's bad.
Well, that's why I made
No,
that joke
thank
a
you.
long time
All right,
ago.
Steven,
I
what is it
love
that you actually
Josh.
wanted to?
In this basement is
This is-
okay.
yeah. But I want to do like a free kitchen, type of thing, where people can come and get
Oh,
Feed the
okay.
homeless.
a free meal, but it's
it's
going to
good.
be, it's really high quality food.
Mm-hmm.
So it's stuff that it's a menu that I've curated, a menu that I've created. I'm cooking most of the time, and the only caveat is you're eating whatever it is I decide I want to cook that day.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like I get to do a hobby that means a lot to me. I get to cook and I get to, create for people. And also, these people get to have a high-class meal. They get to have good food. They sit at tables
But
with,
they have to eat it with their hands.
no, they get to
No
eat
silverware
a good,
provided.
That is
they
the
get to
deal.
eat a good meal. They get to, they're treated like customers
human
who would
beings.
normally be treated
Yeah,
at a
patrons
five-star
at a-
restaurant.
yeah.
It's very high class, even if they're not dressed high class, like that kind of thing. Like they don't have to feel ostracized. They can feel
They don't
special.
have to feel ostrich-sized.
I've always
That's kinda
liked
cool.
the idea of that.
Yeah,
I've always
that's
liked
neat.
the idea of being able to, and obviously like that's
It's like
I mean,
way
that would
less
be
efficient
perfect.
than feeding.
because it would be so expensive to do.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I would love to do it.
There's a reason that the free food is the quality it is because of
Exactly.
bulk
Like
and,
I want to.
and money.
Yeah, that's why it's like if I had infinite resources,
Sure.
if I ever like make hit the lottery or whatever, like I would love to make
Filet mignon.
a non-profit like that. I would love to do a non-profit like that because I think it would be so meaningful and
That would be pretty cool.
it'd be fun. I think I would enjoy it.
I like that.
So that's my dream. Pseudo theoretical,
Every now
pseudo
and then the
real.
homeless deserve food that's better than just like soup that people pull together.
Fancy soup kitchen.
Yeah.
Well, and for no and not even for the food, but just for the like their psyche,
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I think. Yeah.
More
like,
realistic.
treating
Yeah.
them
People actually
like
care?
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
for
Like
sure.
them coming and they get to sit down at a table. They get their water. They get their tea.
Someone waits
whatever
on
they
them.
want. They get to order.
Yeah.
They get to order from a menu. They get to order an appetizer. Obviously there's some limits because, they can't just. I want everything on the menu.
Right.
But still, yeah, they get to kind of have an experience that they don't ever really get to have because they've had hard times and.
Yeah.
I
that's
think that's.
So, Steven, little more realistically, would you be on board if we had a truck and we just gave out warm Pop-Tarts?
I mean, that's better than nothing. I
Yeah,
guess.
let's
but
get
I
on
would-
the
I would-
Pop-Tart truck.
I would prefer to maybe.
They just
Make
Pop Tart
something,
truck
but-
coming to a
Sure.
city near you.
I don't know. For whatever weird reason that popped into my head. No.
So are they actually literally just Pop Tarts, or are they some sort of some sort of
Strudel?
pastry thing
Some
that we
sort of
made?
pastry.
Oh,
Strudel.
we'll eventually make our own, but we got to start with just Pop-Tarts.
We start with
Pop-Tarts.
just
Well,
Pop Tarts.
here, let me.
We got to get it off the ground. Get
Let me
running.
call Pop Tarts
Yeah.
HQ and let's ask for permission first.
Pop-Tarts.
Dude, they'd probably be behind it. They got those weird ass commercials,
Right? Yeah.
Where like
yeah.
Pop Tarts are being killed
Eaten?
and eaten alive.
By
Oh,
other
yes!
Pop-Tarts?
I was confused for a moment.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a really cool idea, Steven. I like that.
Yeah, I've always thought that would be fun. I've always like that's like
Until you
somewhere in
got
the back
that
of my
one
head, I
crazy
think-
homeless person who started calling everyone demons and throwing.
Well,
flipping
I mean,
tables.
obviously
Yeah, there was
there's some risk involved.
there will be
But-
people on hand, mental health professionals on
You mean
hand.
bouncers?
Yes, exactly.
Bouncers.
Okay.
We'll have the local county MHMR, on speed dial.
Dude, you could. Yeah, I mean, you would coordinate with them, right? Like,
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
to
yeah,
some
yeah.
extent.
I think it would be, and like it's one of these ideas that like I said, me
Dude,
and Haley have
expand
been
it,
talking about for a
Steven.
long
Like
time.
maybe put some showers in the back, get some tuxes they can rent. Like sit down. Have
yeah.
Serious.
Let them dress up.
I'm
Yeah,
serious.
no, that's
Get a
That's,
piano player or a violinist or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
Fancy
people would
waiters to
volunteer
come
to
over,
do that.
sir. May I take your order out? Like,
Yeah, you could
that'd
find
be-
some.
yeah.
Like Grady said, you could find volunteers for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
Sure.
sure. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
Dude, you
So-
could.
I'm glad I
it's-
came
it's-
up with
it's
it.
one of these. It's one of these things. Glad I came up with it. It's one of these things that, like, I mean, even if, to the ridiculous degree we've just now taken it, it's something that I think I want, like, to try to do someday, I think. Like, even on a smaller scale.
Yeah, I mean, what I was going to say is, if you think about it, you keep putting effort into it, try to come up with, like, actually some of the logistics, like, create a pitch, and you could definitely, like, pitch
Get a
that to
grant for
somebody. Yeah, and get a grant. And,
Yeah.
Or have a gala or something, like, to support it to
Yeah.
fund it. So.
You said gay.
Yeah. Gay law. Like gay LA.
Gay LA.
But yeah.
Hot boy summer.
That's cool.
Someone else now.
Yeah, who's next?
Anyone but
I
Steven.
can go.
Yeah.
Well, is it just Grady and me left?
Yeah.
Sure.
That's it.
Go ahead, Grady.
No one else.
All right. What is it? Hypothetical dream
best
job. Space captain. Like
You fuck! You fuck!
what?
Uh-oh, we've summoned you fuck again.
You fuck.
You fuck!
Well, let's let Grady finish first, and maybe it's not quite the same.
Okay.
It's very close, but
It's
it's
gonna
probably
be
not quite the
close.
same.
Brady just wants
You
to
wanna
play
be-
more
you
Star
wanna
Trek
be-
VR.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
you just want to be Picard, right?
Yeah, I just want to go like explore new systems, go out there, see cool shit. Like I just love going around in the old Mass Effect games and seeing like, oh, this
You
is
want-
an
you
anomaly.
want-
It's and you just
you
read
want
all
your
the stupid
continuing
stuff that they
mission
tell you about it, and it's like, wow, that's cool. I don't understand any
To
of that, but
explore
okay.
strange new worlds.
Yeah, I actually it reminds me one of the hypotheticals that like
To seek out new stars and new
yeah that
civilizations.
kind of came through
To
to
go
me
where
was
no
to
man
be
has
like
gone before.
an old timey
Go
explorer
where
like
no man has
like Lewis
gone
and Clark,
before.
like discovering the Americas for the first time. Like that was one of the things
The final frontier.
that kind of resonated with me too. Great. So like yeah, exploring especially in space where shit man, there's no telling what you're gonna see.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I
frontier,
wouldn't
man.
even like need to be the captain.
Okay.
I can be a
Wait,
crew
wait,
member
wait.
on your ship, Chris. But like,
Wait.
Well, I'm not running a ship like that, baby.
He's not doing that.
Oh.
But here's my question. You two just gushed about this idea, right?
yeah,
Who's you
I
two?
mean, I did,
And
but
Grady and Josh.
Yes.
And you have very easily watched the least amount of Star Trek.
Okay.
Yeah, Steven
I
and I probably
haven't.
have watched
I've
way more
watched
Star
a good
Trek than
amount,
both
but
of you.
less than you two.
Watch
but-
Star Trek. That's what you're describing Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I've watched.
I tried watching the old
but
Star Trek
Josh,
and
yeah.
it just didn't work.
Yeah, because let's see,
Next
Steven and I
Generation. Just
together,
watch
like,
Next-
I've watched the original, Next Gen, and I'm halfway through Deep Space Nine.
Watch Next Gen.
Nah.
Well, skip
I-
the first like 2 seasons.
No, you still gotta watch the first two. Don't listen
I
to
changed my mind.
Just-
I don't want to have to watch Star Trek, so I hate exploring.
Just watch them so that you get hooked. Start like season 3 or 4, so you get hooked, and then you'll go back and you'll eat everything.
But Steven, my exploration hypothetical was like the 1800s or 1700s when we're going off and meeting the indigenous peoples of America and probably getting shot. But
Yeah.
also seeing like the Grand Canyon, like being the first person to see the
Yeah.
Grand Canyon.
The first
it's
person.
that, but in space.
The
Yeah.
Space Grand Canyon.
Yeah, I guess, man. But space is dangerous. Earth
That
is,
would be
Earth
cool,
is
though.
so not dangerous, man. Like people don't hate each other down here or anything. We're all cool.
Yeah, we never
We're all pretty.
We've
chill.
never
notoriously
had a war.
nonviolent Earth.
Yeah. People don't really die that often.
Yeah, I'll watch Next Gen. Whatever.
But yeah, that would be mine. Is just logging all this information about all these cool places, seeing new things, being like, damn, I'm out in space. This is awesome.
Grady just needs to play more No Man's Sky and more Star Trek VR.
Yeah, it looks like we need to play Bridge Crew.
I'm down. I love
would
that
rather-
game.
I think we should go back to or try out the multiplayer and No Man's. I've got it
I'm
ready
fine
to
with that,
go.
too.
I've got everything uploaded.
Oh. Me and Grady played GTA Online last night.
I'm sorry.
It is really fun.
It's not
was so
fun.
fun.
I played it enough. I
It's-
played enough of it. Trust me, you will get sick of it really quickly.
No. You don't play with other people. You just play with us.
Okay.
It's just
Yeah,
the
it's like
four
a
of us.
closed group.
It's just the 4 of us fucking around, and it was incredible.
But it was just the two
so-
of us. But
Guess I'll have
Well,
to get
yeah,
GTA.
Look forward to that.
I don't think I have it on PS4,
Stooges,
do I?
because that
I do not.
was
I'd have to rebuy
me
it.
and Grady
I don't wanna do it.
laughed a lot. It was fun.
I don't want to buy GTA 5 3 times.
I bought
Why'd
it.
you buy it too?
I bought it originally when it came out on the 360, and then I bought it on the Xbox One to play with other
Yeah.
people like years ago, and then I'd have
I
to
bought
buy
it
it again.
4 times.
Yeah, but it's probably
Yeah,
super
'cause I-
cheap now, right?
No.
I bought it twice, I
When
guess.
it-
I
when
had
it
it on
goes
the
on-
360 and then PS4.
When it goes on sale, it's pretty cheap. You just gotta wait for it to go on sale, which is when I bought it. Who's next?
That would be
Chris.
Christopher.
Christopher.
I want to be a space bounty hunter real bad.
You want to be Solo?
I want to be Solo, baby. No, I don't want to be Han Solo. I want to be Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
You want to
okay.
Boba
you
Fett.
want a
But
bounty
where?
hunt?
Like a Boba Fett that isn't comically disposed of in a few minutes.
Yeah.
If people.
Yeah, the Boba Fett that was intended.
So,
Yes.
The intended Boba.
aren't they
Boba
coming
Fett.
out with like a Mandalorian? movie?
Mandalorian TV show, but I
Mandalorian.
don't
Oh, it's a
trust
TV
anything
show?
they put out. I don't trust anything that studio puts
Sure.
out anymore, so I'm not excited for it.
Why?
You want to
Why
hunt
do you
down
want a bounty
dangerous
hunt?
criminals.
I want to
wanna
hunt
be
down
Samus.
dangerous criminals with my own spaceship, with maybe a light crew, a couple people for maintenance and support
Or a
reasons,
partner.
for information
Or
reasons. Did y'all ever
drone.
play Star Wars Bounty Hunter, the video game?
Yeah, I
Hell
love that.
Yeah, don't
Yes.
play it now because it's terrible. But like the
I didn't
idea of
play
having like a little support team, like yeah, I want that.
But when it,
Yep.
Would you care about who, what circumstances the people are under bounties for?
I'd probably be discerning to a certain point, unless everyone was hungry.
Well, what's his face?
Spike.
Gene. Spike was a. Spike. I was gonna say Spike was
Spike
a.
Spiegel,
was
they
a
were bounty hunters.
Yep. I was gonna say Gene Starwin.
It's Gene Darwin,
but-
Spike and Jet.
Yeah.
I don't know who Gene Darwin is.
Gene Starwind. It's from Outlaw Star.
Oh yeah,
Never
yeah.
watched it.
I think they were bounty hunters as well. But
just-
like, so the danger portion wouldn't bother you, like.
Oh no, it sounds fun. I like shooting things. Not animals.
Yeah, but shooting
Yeah,
at,
he's not me. I'm the one who doesn't like to shoot people.
shooting at and
Yeah.
capturing people's alright.
If I had to shoot a person in self-defense, I wouldn't care. But if I had to shoot an animal, it'd bother
Yeah,
me.
yeah. People I hate, animals I
But
love.
what
Yeah.
what if
It's
you like
different.
shot a guy and then his entrails, started coming out all over the
I
place?
told you, gore doesn't bother me. It's the precision, like surgery stuff that bothers me.
Okay, so what if you
Also,
shot
you're
him
a
and there's a very precise bullet hole in him?
But you're
Then it
you're a
would bother
space-
me, I guess. I don't know how to
You're
answer
a
that
spa-
question.
you're a space pirate. I mean, most of the people you're killing are exploding in space.
I'm not robbing anybody. I'm hunting bounty.
Okay, whatever. But yeah, you're bounty hunter, space bounty hunter. So most of the people, if you're having to kill anyone, you're like killing them in space where they're exploding and just dissipating into the blackness.
Not if you
so
land on
it's
the
fine.
planet and hunt them down there.
True.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why I was so
That's-
mad, because originally Prey 2, which never came out, but it was supposed to be a space bounty hunting game. And then it got canned. The only space bounty hunting games we have are really like Star Wars Bounty Hunter. And we have Mace Windu Bounty Hunter, which I don't think anyone... Not Mace Windu, Jesus
Not-
Christ. What was it
I
called?
was like, what?
Mace Windu. No. It was an Xbox game. Space Bounty Hunter.
Obi-Wan.
Mace Window.
I had a friend of mine who really
Your
fucking
crimes
wanted
have
to
come to an
play
end.
it, and I wouldn't lend it to him.
Oh.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Here's this anecdote where I
Yeah.
was really mean to my friend.
No, it was just Xbox game, Space Bounty Hunter. Come on. I'm
Mace
not
Windu.
No, I can't believe it
Mace
said
Windu.
Mace Windu.
I would play
Mace
that
Griffin.
game.
That's why I got
Mace
confused.
Griffin.
Mace
Yeah, there you
Griffin Bounty Hunter.
There we
Mace
there
Griffin
it
Bounty
is.
Hunter, and it had combat sections, and then you would like chase guys, and you get in your ship, and you'd fly around in your ship and shoot them down. It's fucking
Dude.
cool, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, you need.
Would you play Dog the Bounty Hunter?
You need to play Elite Dangerous.
I was going to ask if Elite Dangerous has any bounty hunting in it.
Yeah, it does.
Yes.
But does it have?
It's
But you
a-
can't
a
land on a
exceedingly
planet and hunt a
amount.
person with guns.
No, it's
No,
it's
you can't. You
strictly
can't walk around
space
first person.
bounty hunter.
It's
Yeah.
all vehicle.
I
based.
played the demo when it was on Xbox One. I played it, and then I guess I got lost and stuck without fuel, and I was like, well, I'm done. But whatever.
Dude, it's so good. You get to be whatever you want to be.
It's
like,
pretty.
I've been
yeah,
doing
it's
some of the
pretty
training
stellar.
missions on it lately
So
because I
good.
want to start playing it.
So good.
That's fun.
You get me high and put me in a VR headset, and I'd probably have a blast.
Dude, VR. I want to build like an Elite Dangerous like VR.
Something where I
That
can
would be
actually
pretty
put my
cool.
hand up, flip a few switches, and go, all right, activate
Exactly.
that, dude.
Yes.
All right, let's hunt this fucker down. Yeah.
Yeah, you
It
know,
is
like buttons
strange.
and switches
We
and
have all
fucking-
these
yeah.
flight simulators that are incredibly realistic. Is there like a space flight simulator, like other than Elite Dangerous? Like put some.
No,
I've-
because flying in space is not. Like it can't be simulated yet. I guess.
Well, yeah, you
know,
just
like-
come up with your own shit, man.
I mean, Kerbal Space Program technically is the closest thing you're going to get to flight to Space Simulator because it's just like
Well, it doesn't
when
have
you're
to
flying in
be,
space.
I guess, directly simulated. I just mean, that
Dude.
the precision with which a simulator, I guess, is made, but with shit that you come up with.
Here's the other thing: you wouldn't really know if it's precise or not.
Well, that's what I
because-
mean. Like it.
Because we don't even know if
Like-
space exists, right?
Oh, true.
that's true.
Flat. Yeah.
All
It's
of
a
this
hoax.
is ridiculous anyway. So
Yeah, yeah.
I just meant like
it's
have
flat.
similar-ish. Have like a pilot on with your people and be like, yeah, well, this kind of would make sense, and I come up with these switches that you have to flip, and this is I don't know. I would play it. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, Kerbal Space Program's
I just want a space piloting game with lots of precision, which I guess is
So,
kind of what
yeah,
Elite Dangerous
Elite
is.
Dangerous.
Yeah, Elite Dangerous is
Yeah.
precise enough for me to find it very difficult.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's like, I busted out my extra number pad just so I had extra buttons next to my fucking joystick.
What a weirdo.
Because there's so much shit that you have to do with Elite Dangerous. It's good. It's really good,
Mr. Extra Number Pad over here.
dude. I bought that thing.
Steven,
back
you've
in
got
the
it on
WoW
PC.
days when I was doing PvP. Yeah, PC.
Okay.
I've got it on PS4.
I've got it on PS4 as well, but I mean, I could get it on
There's your
PC.
problem.
But
Yep.
Wait, oh yeah, I'm not. buying
I can't.
a PC to run any of this stuff right now.
I mean, unless you want to get a keyboard or... I would recommend if you're getting on a PS4 or Xbox One, get some sort of some sort of pad, some sort of keyboard type thing so you have a lot of buttons that you can program. Because there's a lot of shit you have
I
to do.
just recommend getting better at it on PS4, Grady.
okay, I can do
There
that.
you go. Bing, bing, bing.
All right.
All right.
Good
So what job would we all do to? I don't know. Fuck, we're out of people. So
Podcast forever.
Again, subscribe to the Patreon.
Yeah. Patreon.com/the Sagely Stage Stooges, probably.
and then like 6 or 7 backslashes just because.
I actually think that's the URL.
Like 6 or 7 backslashes. Like either one will get you there.
Yes.
Oh, no, I'm ignoring you.
Not anymore. You just responded, bitch.
Got him.
Got him.
Any final thoughts?
Well,
other than
final
Chris,
thoughts. I don't know. They should probably get banned. I don't know. Whatever.
Final thoughts.
Oh, okay.
final thought 7
It's the final thought. Something.
down.
Yeah. I was hoping I would come up with a word during that song, but it
Didn't happen.
You didn't even use the
Didn't
like
happen.
original word. You just went with blank.
It's a
Just do that again.
well.
So labor
I guess
is a
let's-
thing that people do, right? So
Sometimes
Yeah, have it-
hypothetically.
we can finally start
good-
the labor podcast.
That Grady's,
Grady's
always
Oh
always
man,
wanted
yeah,
to
I'm
have.
in.
And it's Grady starring Grady. Guest starring Grady.
Yep. I do different voices. None of them are very consistent. But
Too
I
many
do them.
Grady's can spoil the broth. That's my Soylent Green commercial.
So wait,
Oh,
I
no,
have
see,
to
the
ask them
problem
their
is you're
name
using
before
too
I put
much
them in the
Grady,
slurry.
Okay, you're gonna want to cut down on your Grady.
Cut down on your
Yes,
Grady.
Grady. In your terrible hypothetical Soylent Green universe, you do have to know all of their names.
So
Yes.
that I don't put too many Grady's in.
I feel
Yes.
like I wouldn't eat at a Southern
Yeah.
Green restaurant unless like every meal I had came with a little like printout of the life that the person I was eating lived. Like, I want to
So-
know all their
Jesus.
joys, all their fears, all
Oh,
their accomplishments, all their failures.
All of their
Why
power.
is there a Soylent Green restaurant? It's the same Soylent Green you would eat at your house. It's not.
No, but it's prepared differently by chefs
Yeah.
such as me.
Yeah.
What?
Or in my it's.
Or if you're down on your
in
luck
my-
at Steven's.
Yeah.
place.
Yeah, exactly. In my.
Well, I
My
mean, it could go
free-
either way. If
my
you're down on
free-
your luck, you could either end up at Steven's restaurant, eating it, or eating it.
All people welcome, no matter what your walk of life. We'll find somewhere for you.
Or in what form you exist in.
Yeah, you pick up a spoonful and you're like, there, but for the grace of God. go on."
That's his catchphrase is like, "We've got a spot for you" or something.
Yeah.
We'll find a place for you. That's Steve.
Whenever you put out ads, it's like, we got a
We've
spot
got
for
a-
you in the kitchen, and it's not like what you think.
Yeah, we've got a table for you at it or on it.
Oh.
And that goes for like
We-
strippers too. He's gonna have strippers on
Okay,
his.
whenever this horrifying universe
Table
does
dancers.
exist, they're 100% gonna hire us to like tone it down.
I like
way
that you
more.
said whenever it does. Like it is inevitable
come
that
on.
we're gonna
Let's
get
be
there.
honest.
Whenever. Yeah, no, it's
Yeah, he
They're
knows
gonna
we're
hire
headed towards
people like
darkest
us to like
timeline.
make cutesy ads to make it seem less horrible.
you're either in front of it or on it. Welcome to the Silent Green
Oh my
Restaurant.
God, you're right. Millennials and Zoomers are just going to be the ad people for this stuff.
The fuck is
because,
a Zoomer?
It's the people. that know us.
Gen Z?
Yeah.
Gen Zers.
Zoomers?
They're calling them Zoomers in
God,
some
I hate
places
that
at
even
least.
more.
Yeah, I like it.
Why?
They're weird.
Boomer Zoomer.
Yeah.
Boomer sooner is what you're sounding like you're saying, and I hate that too.
Oh, well. All right, gig 'em.
We don't have to
But
worry
yeah,
about
like,
them anymore. Unless
We're
we
all
put them in a ball
nihilistic
game
and
where we
stuff and
spank
have,
their ass.
dark humor. So, yeah, that totally makes sense, Chris.
Yep.
So if you couldn't tell, we're
follow us.
sponsored by Soylent Green today.
Yeah. Follow us on Twitter at the SS Stooges.
If you'd like to donate your body to Culinary Sciences, you can hit us up there.
Yep.
in our
Culinary
DMs.
Sciences Inc.
Culinary Sciences. Basically, if you just search for the Sagely Stage Stooges wherever,
I think we're the only
if we're-
one.
If we're there, we will show up because we're the only one.
If
So-
you call us, we will come.
Yeah,
we're
I think.
on Twitter.
yeah, all
I
of them.
tweet sometimes.
And
We're on
Steven will have a
Facebook.
boy to catch it.
We're on Instagram. We're on YouTube. We have a new Ocarina of Time video coming out soon.
Yeah, I'll probably
Look
post it
forward
this
to that.
afternoon on YouTube.
Look forward to that. So by the time you hear this podcast, it probably is already out. So go
Nice.
watch it.
Do it.
With the second
Um,
episode on the way by that point.
Yeah, the
Possibly.
second
Yeah.
episode's gonna take some time.
Okay. Was it that bad?
We're
It's yeah, it's not as streamlined as the first.
not as.
As long as
Not
our
as-
Star Wars conversation stays in, I'm cool with it.
Oh yeah. Wow, we need to finish that.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, this has been fun.
Yep.
We just kind of bullshit this game.
Our freewheeling episodes are
talk.
pretty fun.
Yeah, but this was fun.
I thought it was okay.
I hated it.
Well, we have
Alright, cool.
wide-ranging emotions here at the Sage Stooges.
Why don't you give us your
Yeah.
opinion and fucking review us? Damn it!
Still waiting for an iTunes review. If you send me an email with your iTunes review, I will send you a free game.
Yeah,
I mean,
a free
it's
game.
it's the easiest way to get a free game that I've ever heard.
I mean, I'm about to do it.
yeah, I'll give Josh a free game if he does it.
Josh, you should do it.
Don't test me.
All right, for
3.
Josh
Oh.
and for Grady and for Chris, my name is Steven. We've been the Sagely Stage Stooges. You have been awesome. Catch you next time.
Love you, baby.
Oh, dumb.
At least we don't catch vomit.
Dude, yeah, that's gross. God damn it. What was the name of that show that you watched where that French king had a boy who caught his cum?
Wow.
What a fucking
That's your
question, man.
stinger.